The Chattahoochee Review, sponsored by Georgia State University. Publication type is periodically. I read two of the stories. One was called Ghosts by Mary Brinley, aired March 1st of 2019, and the other one was called Sleepers by John Von Kirk, which is also aired March 1st of 2019. The story called Ghosts starts off with a quote. The quote is, "The drama of human life is an experience or absolute knowledge of life after death, which can only be had through experience of communication with the so-called dead." This short story goes on talking about young girls' imaginations getting the best of them, especially when being in a room with two sisters, each other confirming each other's suspicions. The story talks about how these two girls kept hearing noises in their homes. They were also more intrigued by the noises than they were scared of them. They say a man named Charles B. Rosna was murdered and buried in the cellar 5 years earlier in that same home. Suddenly, after that got out, many young girls and people all over the country began hearing spirits in their home as well. Another quote from this story was, "The voices were nothing more than desire to imprint my own narrative into the world." I have to say that this short story, I found it very interesting, but it did give skeptical vibes. Another article that I read was called Sleepers by John Van Kirk. This magazine starts off by describing in detail how a man sleeps when he is alone versus when he is in bed with a woman. He describes in detail how he sleeps, such as his legs crossed at his ankles, sleeping on his back. The magazine describes how different types of men had different issues sleeping and several different situations that they've encountered after sleeping. I found this story very interesting, but I didn't fully understand the point of the story. From what I've seen, the Chattahoochee Review publishes short stories about the South, but I mean, as far as the ones that I read, they don't specifically pertain to the South. They just take place in the South, but it could involve anybody. I like that some of the topics are deep and interesting, and they're very easy to understand.